Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if I can press on the right camera, that would be great. If I had the right one. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. We try and come here every Friday to try and answer your questions as best as we possibly can. We don't know everything about media ministry, folks, but the little bit I do know, hopefully it'll make your journey a little bit easier. I am looking here to make sure the audio is fine. It looks fine from here. Again, thank y'all so much. Well, I wouldn't say I'm fresh back from Chicago. I got back yesterday around 10 a.m. I escaped the snow. I still got to do all the editing and stuff like that. That's going to be a long video to talk about that, which reminds me I need to come back to that topic real quick. But thank y'all so much for stopping by. Let's go ahead and say hello to some folks here because we got a lot of stuff to cover and we got some great stuff to talk about if y'all haven't seen the community board or if you haven't been on Facebook yet. Reverend Leroy, hello, good morning. Paula, good morning. Jackie from Baltimore, hello, hello. Amy, hello, good morning to you. Scott, good morning. Philip Paul, hello, hello. Not AJ, but Mr. J, hello, good morning. Parker, what is going on? Mr. Monty, how you doing, sir? Ryan from Barbados, hello, hello. Elder Rob, how you doing? Jonathan, how you doing? Chris, good morning. Tamara, hello, hello. O'Neill, good morning. Patrick from Texas, what is going on? Phil Joe, hello. Mr. Clarence, how are you doing? Mark, good morning, sir. Jerry from North Carolina, North Dakota. The Dakotas have not been a state I have not visited yet. Love to get to all the states. I got about 10 to 12 states I haven't visited in my entire life. Techie Tara, hello, hello. TJ, how are you doing? I am doing good. Ray B from Indiana, how are you doing? And man, I'm already pronounced your name wrong, so my apologies. Jahil Mayoni, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hello, hello. So, folks, I think I got my pedals working. Yay, my stuff is working. So, when we get into it, folks, if you have questions, please start it with a Q. But let's get all the formal stuff out of the way. Do I have that up? Know that if I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond. If you are not a part of the Facebook group, folks, well, actually, let me change the order of that. We just talked about email. If me and you go back and forth in emails over 3 times, I highly recommend you go ahead and book a consultation. You can go to ajhomes.com/consultations, and you can book a consultation. Just know, folks, as of the second week of December, we are shutting down for the year to plan business for next year and a bunch of stuff that we got going on. I'll be still doing videos, but doing projects, consultations, all that other stuff, that is not happening because I ain't trying to be in the cold. What else am I forgetting? Oh, yeah. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, folks, what are you doing? You need to go ahead and join that. It's like this every single day, but you're dealing with other media ministries that are in the hunt, in the grind, just like you are. Go to facebook.com, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, and that is about it. Answer the 3 questions. Don't live stream inside the group, and that is about it. All right, folks, I am super, super excited for quite a few things. I'm going to show you kind of behind the scenes of some stuff that is going on, but let's go ahead and get the formal stuff out of the way. I am very, 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 well, let's go backwards. If you like what we're doing here, folks, you know you can become a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, and we've got a bunch of them. I have been out of town, so I didn't get a chance to update the credits at the end for this. So again, supporters, forgive me for that. I will have that updated next time. But if you don't want to become a patron, you don't want to click the join button, the best way you could do it is become a subscriber to the channel. And then also, you can get some of our merch. I had ordered this new shirt, the media shirt, that was supposed to have been here last week. Still haven't gotten it. That was a merchandise samples. So I'll give it an excuse for that. But you could always go to emissionarygear.com, get some merch there, get some desk mats. I got the scripture one here, all that other stuff. More stuff is coming out. All that stuff helps contribute because my company, the Patreon supporters, YouTube members are what help fund this channel. We don't get sponsorships. Most companies send me products. They don't pay me for it. So most of those products end up being given away to other folks as well, too. But that's what we do. If you like what we do and you want to continue this thing, subscribe, share, like the video, that gets it out to the algorithm that goes to everybody else. But then financially to help pay for this stuff, you can become a Patreon supporter, you can become a YouTube member, or you can buy some merch from emissionarygear.com, and that helps do that. Also, I want to use this platform to shout out y'all's media ministry team. We do a lot of great stuff, folks, and a lot of times we don't get the shout outs like I think we honestly deserve. So let me do that. Email me and send me a picture of your team. Let me know where you're from, your ministry name, and all that other good stuff. And email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team, and let me shout out your team, folks. And again, want a big thank you for those who are continuing to buy the Modern Media Ministry made. I mean, it is now necessary by a bunch of books that I have. So thank y'all for continuing to do that. Whew. All righty. What I'm excited about, officially, July 18th through the 19th, 2025, is going to be our third E-Missionary Conference. And this is going to be in person, and I think I picked the wrong picture. I think I did. Let me go back. So this is actually going to be in person, folks, and online. This is going to be held at Antioch Baptist Church. I got the location. Thank you, Pastor Paul. So we're going to have some facilities there. Again, it's still going to be online. It's always going to be that aspect to it. You can be in attendance. If you want to be a teacher, you can be on site and teach. You can still do it remotely. We got all the stuff in place. We've got 2 years, and all of us media ministry folks that are going to be there, we got the expertise, we got the knowledge, we got the technology, so that if you want to be in person, we can do it. If you want to be online, we can still do that too. And if you want to be in the place, you get some good food. We're going to have some food coming catered in. It is open to everyone. So some of y'all, I made this note based off of the West want me to bring this to attention. If you got kids, they are welcome too. We just need to know the counts so that way we can have activities for everybody. So don't think this is just, it's just family. We just need to have adults. It's just media. It's anybody that has a media ministry, whether you're in media ministry, you're a minister, you're a pastor, you don't have a media ministry, but you want to get started. That is what this session is going to be about. Also, with that being said, we need some teachers, folks. We need to build this out so that we have a good offering. It is going to be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday and on Saturday. And depending on if y'all want to stay over, and depending on, I know it's a bunch of musicians out there too, we may be able to even run the music ministry on that Sunday. I need to still talk to Pastor Paul about that, but would love if y'all want to hang out the entire weekend. Y'all can stay and worship at Antioch, and we can do some more stuff if you want to, or you can just be a part of the background and want to help run the media. We're going to have a big thing going with this. I'm going to take a little bit of time to kind of cast the vision of all that. But then also, if you're interested, the wait list registration is up, is no commitment. We just need to get numbers. So with that being said, let me cut back over to my Computron here. And here's the website for meconference.com. That is what's up right now. So you can just click on here and the teachers will take you to a form to fill your information out if you want to be a teacher. And the registration wait list, it's just going to be an email that will go out. We're not going to spam you, folks. Email is going to go out to let you know when everything is live. And we just want to get a tentative of who's going to be in person, who's going to be online, and if you're undecided, but you still want to come. Letting you know right now, for thankfully Antioch, we don't have to pay to rent the building. So very thankful for that. So the tickets for people to be online ultimately are going to be $75 because that's going to be 16 hours of content that you can watch live or after the fact. It's going to be $100 per person if you're coming in individual on site. That way, that covers your food for both days, your merch, all this other stuff that we have planned is going to be very cheap. And then we also have hotels in the area. We're 5 minutes away from the Richmond airport. Tons and tons of hotels that you can attend, and go to. And I think they start at like $100 and from $89 to $115 a night. So let you know about that. So that's what's going on. So let me let you look behind the scenes of what the website is actually going to look like when it's fully live. So this is the back behind the scenes. This is what's going on here. Like I said, it's going to be in Richmond, Virginia at Antioch Baptist Church, July 18th through the 19th. We got our conference information. We took a whole lot of top tips from the last time. So we got a full schedule that I'm still building out. You know, we're going to have our speakers and all this other stuff. I'm the only one that's confirmed right now to teach. So once we get some more people, that's when we'll fill it out. We have our FAQ. We're going to have our schedule here. So this is going to be in person and online. You click that. That's going to take you to everything. I only have two sessions right now. Because this is going to be on a Friday. In the conference, we're going to do the same thing we're doing right now, our Q&A on Friday, but it's going to be with a live audience and people on the stage with me answering questions. So we're going to be able to take live questions, online questions, who are the attendees online, people on YouTube, just like y'all who are watching. If you're not a part of the conference, you can come and answer questions. We'll be also taking phone-in stuff. So this is probably going to be a longer session since it's going to be live. And we're also going to be live streaming pretty much the entire time on YouTube, kind of like a highlights of people walking around, seeing what's going on, just to hopefully entice y'all to to join if you're local to come, or if you want to get registered and join in. What else we got on here? Like I said, but when this launches, I told you the price is going to be $75 for people to attend the conference online, $100 in person. That's it. But once the website goes live, which hopefully should be December, we want to do early bird registration so that we can start getting the stuff in place, start ordering and setting aside the food and all this other stuff, the placeholders, blocks for hotels and all this stuff. An early bird, it'll be, if you want to be online, that's $50. In person, that's $75. That is going to end. I think we set the ending of that is going to be January, the last day of January. So we can, you know, if y'all want to be there, so we can get the numbers and you can get it at a discounted price. The other thing we're talking about as well, too, if you are a ministry and you bring over 4 people, if you bring over 4 people, we're going to set up a group rate. So if the ministry, you have a group of more than 4 people, we'll discount it by, I think if you bring 4 people, that would have been $400 if you pay for everything. If you bring a ministry with over 4 people, it would be a discount of like $100, and then it goes up from there. We'll work on that. So if you bring 4 people, the group rate would be $300. 4, we'll work on the pricing and stuff like that. So just let you know, we don't want this to be kind of like nitpicking and penny pinching everybody, but now that we're in a facility, we got to pay for security. We got to pay for the merchandising. We got to pay for the food. We got to pay for the cleanup. We got to do all that stuff. So hopefully making it so we can, you know, sustain this. And hopefully this will be something good. We can continue this as well. Like I said, the venue, that is at Antioch Baptist Church. Again, big shout out. Thank you, Pastor Paul, for allowing me to have the facilities. And like I said, these are 3 hotels that are in the area: the Hyatt Place Richmond, the Holiday Inn Express, Homewood Suites. All of them range from, these are based on the dates of those days. The 17th, if you come in early, so that you could be there at 8 a.m. Also, the other stuff we got, and again, I'm casting a vision because I'm really excited about this. Me and Francisco were talking about this as well too. We're gonna have breakfast there. So y'all can come in at 8, meet and greet, network with everybody. There's a big fellowship hall. So we'll have, I think we're going to be having Ronnie's Barbecue. That was a friend that I have who was on Best Thing I Ever Ate. He's going to be catering some stuff there. I have some other friends that are going to be catering a wide range of food. And that's the other thing. When the registration goes live, we're going to need dietary information, all this other stuff, because we want to make sure we cater to everybody. But I think that is about it, because I can blab on and about this because I'm really excited and it's a lot to put in place. So anyway, I hope y'all are excited about that. Let me go backwards in here. Elder Rob, yes, that will be when you register as a teacher. All that information is going to be set privately for teachers and everything. If you're a teacher, yes, you need to pay to register, because we're going to have a merch bag, a goodie bag, and all this other stuff for y'all as well too. But as a thank you for teachers, yes, there will be a discount for teachers, whether you're online or in person. Just know if you're online, we can't get you a goodie bag. So that's why this stuff is going to be discounted. Monty, are you thinking of having breakout sessions, multiple sessions simultaneously? Yes. The beauty at Antioch is we have access to the full sanctuary, the chapel that I did a video a long time ago that I set that section up for live streaming, and there's a total, and the media booth, and there's a total of 6 classrooms. So and the multi-purpose room. So there will be multiple sessions going on. There'll be food, there'll be activities. Depending on kids, we'll have bounce houses, all this other stuff. We're looking to have vendors and food trucks there. I want this to be a big thing, a big shindig. We're looking at reaching back out to Mario at Shore, looking at getting some people from Personas there. I'm going to talk with Sweetwater, Comcast, Verizon, trying to make this a really big thing. And any church that I've installed, highly recommend that I'm going to be reaching out to anybody I've installed from Pennsylvania down to South Carolina to have them come there, because it's going to be a training that I normally do after I do an install, but it's going to be a big thing. And it's not just me. And more importantly, this whole conference, this whole website has always been about networking. For y'all to realize that there are other ministries that are across the street in the same city, in the same state, that we could work together so that we can complement each other instead of compete with each other. And then it's going to be training for technical, as well as, if you saw the conference, Elder Rob was talking about casting the other nets. Brian Jones was teaching some stuff. We have the West that were teaching about the biblical importance of media ministry. It's not just for the technical. It is for anyone that understands that media ministry is important, whether you're a pastor, a minister, have a starting media ministry, or you have a thriving one. We can always learn. That's what it's all about. So really, really excited about all the good stuff. All right. So I think I've blabbed enough. Go to 4meconference.com, register with the wait list. Like I said, we're not going to spam you if you were a teacher. I'm telling you, this is going to be one for the history books. I'm really excited for that. And I'm going to put up a form too if you just want to volunteer, because we're going to need a lot of technical stuff. It's like we're going to be running a broadcast for every single one of the rooms, every one of the conferences, as well as the overarching ones. If you want to be a part of it and you're a photographer, a videographer, we need all of that stuff. Again, this isn't, I hate saying it like this. This isn't something for me to pocket this. This is really meant for the community at large. So I'm trying to throw everything that we possibly can to make it worthwhile, so that this is the de facto standard when it comes to media ministry training for any ministry at all. So we got a lot of work, and we started early. We have until July. We got 8 months. So we got a lot of time that we want to put in. But again, thank you for the interest. Make sure you go to conference.com, put all that information. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss out when we talk about all the videos that we got here, as well as all the information that we got going on. So I think I've blabbed enough. Let's fire away. Please make sure you start your stuff with a cue, and we will go from there. Take it, Tara. I am setting up my Stream Deck to make streaming a little easier. I have 3 of them set up, and I have this one set up for my other streaming system that's going to Twitch and my website right now. We're using an ATEM plugin on OBS to stream on Facebook and YouTube. Is there a way to program the Stream Deck to control those buttons? Typically, yes. It all depends if they have shortcuts configured. So let me open up my OBS. Good. I do have it on here. So if we come over here and we have this set up. Now, when you come in here, first we have to see, are there any commands that let you control this stuff? And it all depends. If there are shortcuts here, so looking through here, it doesn't look like there are any shortcuts directly. But if we come in here to settings, and we go to hotkeys, you can search in here, and it looks like, let's see. So some of these, it doesn't look like they have any directly there. So as of right now, it doesn't look like you can do that. But any programmers out there, there should be a level that you can interact with that. I need to play around with that a little bit more, but directly, it does not look like there is one. I mean, there's stuff for your vertical scenes. So there's obviously some coding that allows it to talk to that. Um, you got to play around with that a little bit more. I know there's a workaround. It doesn't look like it's natively built in. It does not have that, unfortunately. So hopefully if there's any programmers out there, maybe we can get on that. And real quick, Richard, hello, hello. Alex from Kenya, hello. And Streets of Destiny, hello, hello. Let's see. Brian Jones, hello. Alex, in vMix, is there a way to avoid YouTube stream from stopping when you get a connection issue? That is not in vMix. That is actually in YouTube that you need to do that. So I think I showed this. Give me 1 second to open up a page I have access to because I can't do this while I'm live. So when you set up your streaming key, because YouTube has made a change where you have your streaming key. And so I have a streaming key for this, my Q&A. I have a streaming key for church post-production, the podcast. I have a bunch of them. And you can set the rules for that streaming key. So like if I go here in the back end of Antioch stuff, and I'm going to create something. So if I go in here and go live, I just need to get here to get to this stuff. And I'm going to go to here, our streaming key. So I have one set up for Vimeo because they use Vimeo to go to there. If you set up a new streaming key, and I'll just do this as test, set up whatever that you want, set up your manual settings and say, I want this to be 1080p at 60 frames a second. That will be a key dedicated for whatever. So you can make it for Wednesday, whatever. Now, once you do that, that's your key. This cannot be done on the fly. As you can see, the stuff is not there. When you schedule a stream, so say I'm using this one. And actually, let's create a new one. And I'll just do next. I'll make it private. So once I get here, it's going to ask me to pick my key. So I'm going to pick the key that I just made, and I need to go in here and delete a whole bunch of these. I don't know why all of these are made, but here's the one that I just made. Once you select this and the event that you have set up, this is where you would say, turn off, enable stop, auto stop. So this means that it will stop if a connection is lost. It will automatically stop. That's why I have mine turned off, because I know my internet is stable enough. And even if it went down, I don't want my live stream to end. This is the option that you need to turn off. And the easiest way, like I said, to do this, if you're using Restream or whatever, I know you're using vMix, is to set up this event, set up all of this stuff, set up these settings, do one live stream once with it, just as a test. After you do that, those settings will propagate to any recurring use of that stream. So once you streamed once, if you set it to enable auto stop is off, it will not do that again. That's the same way like it is with mine. If I stop my internet connection right now, the live stream will still be live. So that's what that setting is. So hopefully that helps. You just got to go in there. I know I gave you some extra steps. You really don't have to set up a stream key. I do it that way. It makes it easier. You set the stream key, put that in vMix, but then do a test with all the settings. And then it will, for whatever reason, it links it that way and it stays with that key. So hopefully that helps you. Let's see. Elder Rob said, I'm excited about teaching, working on the content. Now, do you know how cool that's going to be, Elder Rob, that you'll actually be inside, if you want to, if you're going to be here, you can actually be inside your class, have people interacting with you directly and people online. I think that's going to give a completely different dynamic, not just for the audience, but for the teachers. It's one thing, again, this conference is really meant to train and help media ministries, but it also is helping you become a better teacher, for you to teach other people that are coming behind you. And the best way to teach is for you to learn how to take that subject and translate it in another way to make it easier. Why have I gotten better in media ministry personally? Is because I've had to figure out how to teach other people at different skill levels. That makes you a more versatile teacher. And then as a public teacher, a public speaker, it helps when you actually have people engaging with you, and it will draw more stuff out from the content that you produce. And it just helps when you actually have somebody in the room asking a question. There's always somebody else that felt the same way, and they're like, well, I don't know if I wanted to ask that. And it just helps with the engagement, especially with people that are online. Total Life Church, yes, I am really excited about it as well. Patrick, in vMix, can you stream at 1080p 30 and record at 4K 30, assuming the computer has processing? Yes, you can. You would set your stream at a certain recording level, and then the recording level you can set at a different level. So yes, you can. Michael, good morning, everyone. A little chilly here on the East Coast this week. Yeah, it started snowing right before I left there. Like I was saying, man, it would be slick. I mean, because I know it's a bunch of musicians out there as well, too, to be able to do the music and run the media. Again, my vision of this, and I don't want this to be a whole vision casting session, but I mean, again, I'm excited about this. The vision of this is to show Antioch and every other church what is possible with what you got. Not just from a church service standpoint, not just from a production standpoint, but the entire thing. If Antioch can produce and hold a conference like this, why couldn't anybody else? If it's able to be at this production level quality, if you put the attention to detail in it, anybody else can do it. It doesn't have to be at a church. It could be at a hotel room. It could be in a conference room. It could be, hotel room, in a hotel conference room. That's what I meant to say. It could be anywhere. It could be in a community center. I want this to just not just be, it's multifaceted. It's to teach, empower, and show people it doesn't cost everything, an arm and a leg, to get educated on how to do this stuff. It also is bringing other ministries and different denominations together with the same singular purpose, networking, fellowship, and empowering and encouraging other people, and showing what ministries can do if they get off their laurels instead of doing the same old, same old. So again, really excited about that. Let's see. What question did I leave off at? Tangela? Hello. Scott, hello. Good morning. Monty, if you need some sponsors to help offset event cost equipment, let me know. Yes, sir. I will be reaching out to you. Greatly appreciate it. So I think I answered that one. Samuel, which wireless mic is best and affordable for live sound? That is very subjective because it all depends on what you consider affordable. There are a bunch of other ones. Give me some examples, and then we can work through that. Total Life Church, I signed up to be a teacher. This is much needed. Yeah, I'm hoping to have this every year. And then also, when I just came back from Chicago, they want me to be up there for a week. So I'm working with Bishop Daniel to about set up something. So hopefully when it's not cold, we're going to be back up there, help out. Alex, Antioch's where I found you online when I first came across your channel. Sweet. Now, I'm not there permanently there. I'm just helping with some other stuff. So I'm just letting them know. They don't get no ideas. AJ's not back there right now. Well, I know Monty has taught every time we've had this conference, so I'm not putting words in his mouth. But he did say he was going to be there. So I don't know if he's going to be an attendee or not. But again, I'd love for any of the teachers who were there, especially the ones, like I said, I don't want to stretch anybody, but I'd love for people to be there. I don't want to, just like we talk about when it comes to your church services, I don't want to punish people who are online and say, we want you to be in the place. I want it to be just as fair. For if you want to be online, you get the same experience as you would if you were in person. But I think the in-person is going to make a completely different dynamic, and is setting the precedence of the vision of this is to be a conference that's every year, that is going to be ultimately 4 times a year in different regions. So it's not going to be just the East Coast. It'll go to different time zones in the U.S., and then as it grows, it goes to be international. That is the vision of where I want this to go. Hey, thank you, O'Neill. I really appreciate it. Eric from Las Vegas. Hello, hello. Christopher. Let me make sure the live stream is fine. Okay. Good morning from Baltimore. Is there a way to save scenes or other settings to a USB or other device from an X32? Yes, it is. If you use the X32 Edit app, you can actually do it, and I've done that a couple of times. Let me see. I'm going to turn on Antioch's board, and I can actually do it here remotely and show you. Let's turn that on. And okay, I was getting ready to say, that is not right. Looks like somebody turned the board on. Interesting. So let me log in here. I'm going to connect to the live streaming system because actually the system is now set up to do multi-track recording. That's another video I'm gonna do. I actually learned that from Drew Brasher, so I'm not saying that I mastered that. I learned that from him. Great dude to go through all of his stuff as well too. So inside of here, if we open up the X32 Edit app. So I have a thumb drive that's already in there, and true story. Thank you for subbing. I have a thumb drive that's connected to the X32 right now. So in here, you can press the scenes button, view, and save it. And then under the settings on the console, you can save to USB. Another way here is if we go to scenes here, see if I scroll down, see these are the scenes of the stuff that I've worked on. You can easily save a new scene here and say, I'll just do this as 11/22/2024. So I've saved that here as a scene right now, but then you can also save it locally. Well, this is going to be saved on the board. You could download it. You could just put it on the thumb drive and then copy it over. That's what I normally do. So yes, you can engage to save here because I'm not physically at the board, or you can save it to a thumb drive, and then I normally just download it and copy it over and stuff like that. So very, very straightforward. So if you had, excuse me, if you had, wow, hold on. So, if, man, what in the world? If you had something local, you could go to load and you could copy it that way in the same way. So yes, you can do that. And I need to make sure if somebody was there and turned the system on, because normally it's set to turn off at 2 a.m. So that was strange. But anyway, that is about it. You are welcome, UTV. Hey, good morning to you as well, too. Back to Total Life Church. We are using, hold on, shutting down the remote system I'm on. We're using the Huddle joystick, and sometime when we pan the camera, it pans and doesn't stop. Is there a way to stop this? How do you have it connected? Is it RS-232 or is it over the network? Let me know, and we can follow back on that. Jackie, I was going to ask about the streaming key. We had the issue about 2 weeks ago and could not stream. Thanks. You are welcome. Dr. NCO, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Shalom, Dr. AJ. Thank you for empowering us. I'm watching from South Africa. Awesome. Thank you for joining. And again, Jackie, you are welcome. Reverend Mark, in a previous Q&A, you mentioned a power strip you use to set up scheduling to turn on and off your sound room's tower cordless mics. Which power strip are you using? And that's the one I just used to turn everything on and off at Antioch. That is the Casa Smart Plug. I have a video about that. But I have about 4 of them here under my desk that turns everything on. And these are the ones that I have here. So you can get, I have I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 of them right here. At Antioch, I have 3. And I've used some combination of these in some way, shape, or form. I have these at I was getting ready to say something. I got to hold my peace and rephrase how I say this. But I have other ones, Casa devices like this at a bunch of places for like the digital walls and all this other stuff, so it makes it easier. So they have a bunch of them. So these are the ones that I put behind 31st Street. These are the ones I have at New Hope and New Covington to turn on their sound system remotely. A bunch of these, you have a hodgepodge of these, but that's the ones I have. So I will put a link down below for these if you are interested in getting them. Casa Smart Plug. So I'm going to rephrase how I say this. So I have to go back up to TCF on Monday, and we got to reposition the screen. They want it to slide over a little bit, so we got to do that. And in the back, those panels are so thin that they have ribbon cables that connect the LED to that. So I guess some of the cables, because it's very thin. It's about as thin as a quarter, the panels that I put on the wall, but the cable just bows it just a little bit. So I have to go back and go back over every panel. I just leave it at that. So we're going to have some adventures coming up next week. Hope that was nice. M16V3, that Chicago code was something completely different. When I went up there to install that stuff the first time, man, I had like 4 layers of stuff, and it was like -5, -7. And I'm not trying to be -5 and -7 outside hanging security cameras. No, sir. So Samuel was going back saying the budget for the microphones for live stream is 100 to 150. And let me make sure I got everything. And you're talking about a wireless mic for 100 to 150. Well, that's going to be a little difficult because it depends on what type of wireless mic you're talking about. If you're talking about like something like these, the Rode Wireless, the DJI wireless mic, these are going for around at least 250 to 350 because it's really not the mic you're paying for. You're really paying for the transmitter to make that wireless. Now, things you could do, but again, they're still kind of expensive. If you're talking about in that price range, you could get the X Vive and it will turn a regular handheld mic into a wireless one, and that's going for right at $159. You could go for something like this. So you could plug that in and, plug in a regular handheld as long as it doesn't need phantom power, and then you can have it, and then you plug this into your board. Anything other than that, it's going to be real tight to be within that budget. This will be that you just have whatever type of regular handheld and you plug it in and you get something like that. That's what I would think in that price range. I will put a link down below for that. I've used something similar to this. I've used the in-ear version of that. So that's the X5 wireless mic set. Let's see. Kelvin. Well, actually, hold on. D. Good morning, D. Kelvin. Question. My church currently broadcasts Sunday morning over conference call. They are putting phone by a speaker. How can I get audio out from mixer to phone? I wouldn't do it from the phone. I wouldn't do the mixer to the phone. Well, technically you could. You can get one of these mics like the Rode Hold on a second. I'm looking for my mic. So if you really, really wanted to do it that way, which I would not recommend, you could get something like the DJI Mic 2, and I think they have mini ones coming out as well too. So this one would allow you to do this in reverse. You could set this, and it has USB adapters for whatever type of phone. You would hook this up to your phone, and then, hook up one of the mics to an output from your mixer, and it would send that to the receiver, and now you have clear audio. You could do that. What I personally would do instead is run Zoom or your conference call, depending on which one. If you're doing free conference call, there is a computer app for that. Or if it's a website, it'll work the same way. It has a web interface. I would get an audio interface, hook this into your mixer to get the audio out, and it will connect out to USB. And if you're using Zoom or if you're using conference call, free conference call, the app, Dial Anywhere USA is another one. You would just pick your microphone input, which is coming from the mixer, which will be your USB interface, and now you're pulling audio directly. I have it set up like that at Greater Faith AME. That's how they use their conference call originally. Then we moved them to Zoom. They do the same thing. That would be the better thing instead of having your phone pull there. But if you had to do it that way, you'll probably want to invest in something like this to do that. Again, this is going to be like $300. That audio mixer and just running it on a computer, that audio mixer, that M Audio, is $25. That would be the easier way to do that. Christopher, you are welcome. All right, you said it's ghosting and it's kind of moving, and you're using RS-485. One thing I've seen about that is re-terminate your cables. I know that's a pain. I've had to do that a couple of times, that maybe one of the connections is loose and it's sending kind of like a fluctuating signal. I've had to do that. That would be the easiest thing to check for that. Mike, what is going on, sir? TJ, I was away from my desk, so I don't know if you answered my question. What are your thoughts on ISP speakers? I'm not ISP speakers. I'm not. As in, now let me, because we're talking about, are you talking about ISP technology speakers, as in that's the company, or ISPs as in internet service providers being speakers at the conference? Again, we're going down the rabbit hole, so I need to make sure I know exactly what you're asking. Yes, it will handle the amplifier. I have mine set up. I wouldn't have it directly. What I normally have is at Antioch and a bunch of other places, the amps are actually going into like a surge protector or a power conditioner or something like that. This is literally just pass through. It's just giving an on and off switch to that. I would not plug anything. These Casa plugs are not like they're providing power to maintain it. They are not surge protectors. Now, the strip has a surge protector built into it, but these are just really just as a way of being able to turn the stuff on and off remotely. That's all it is. So yes, it can handle that, but I would always put electronics on some type of surge protector, and then put this at the end of a surge protector, the 1 unit one, just to turn that surge protector on and off. That's what I would do. Samuel, hey, you are welcome. Jay Ramos. Phoenix Pro also has a similar product. Thank you for that. I didn't see theirs. I know they have some other stuff. I've been using a lot of the Phoenix Pro mics only because they're metal, and I have some people using the vice grip of God on the other ones to screw in the other mics and break them. So this one is metal. So if they break it, they'll get a surprise piece of metal in their hand if they try and overturn those. But yeah, Phoenix Pro has some good stuff. Marcella Henry. Good morning. Can you go over how to add music to intro announcements on OBS Media Source? I'm connected with the A10 Mini Extreme and usually muted during. can I go over how to add music to intro announcements on a OBS source? Okay, well, it's a couple of ways you could do that. You could add it as the background when you're editing it, or, and that camera keeps going off. I was going to say, why did this camera go off? So if I cut over here, and can I find an announcement that I made a long time ago? I normally keep all my stuff here. So I'm just gonna cheat, and I'm actually gonna use something that we already have. So say we're doing announcements here. So here's announcements right here that's going on. All you would really have to do is you add another media source, and you obviously need to listen to it to level this out. I would just add another track under here with my music, and I had it blasting there. So let me actually switch my, I don't want to play it back here. So the idea is like, I'm just going to set the level low enough so that it's not going to dominate the audio. But I think I actually have audio going on this. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this on.
Painting projects for all skill levels, from simple designs for kids.
See, I already have music in here. So I need to see, do I have anything that I don't have audio on? Oh, duh, AJ, why don't you just use one of your videos that doesn't have music to it? How about we just do that? Give me 1 second. I need to find audio upgrade. So I'll use this one. And we need to resize this. All right, so if I come in here. This is a church I used to play for. All right, so that's just the audio. Just imagine that's your announcement. Actually, let me change the audio so y'all can hear it more directly. All right, y'all should be able to hear it more directly now. They felt that it was time for them to upgrade their sound system. All right, so there's the audio. So I'm gonna bring it down so y'all can still hear me talk. So there it is. So all I'm gonna do is just add another source of music in the background, and we just gotta move the level down so it doesn't dominate the audio. They had one floor wedge that wasn't producing as much sound as they needed, and for whoever was on the pulpit preaching, and for the choir, and they were having some rap. So it would be, for me, I would do something like that. Now, if I had to do it in OBS, personally, what I would do is I don't know how your announcement video is. I would put that in whatever editor that you got. I use DaVinci Resolve, Movie Maker, iMovie, whatever, and just add another layer of audio and put it right up under that, and then just drop the levels. So you got 2 ways to do it. So hopefully that helps you. Back to Samuel. Any similar system like Audio Fetch that transmit audio over LAN? I am not familiar with that. Let me see. So if we come here, Audio Fetch. Well, I mean, technically, oh no. I mean, honestly, you really don't need a program for that. It depends on what you're doing, because, I mean, you can send everything in OBS, and OBS will send it over your network over NDI, and that's free. So the same way, like I did a video a while ago, when you output this, you could output your stuff over NDI, and that gets sent. So I say I want to output this. So say, let's bring back that music. So I'm playing that music. Okay, and it's looped. So I have that looping right now, and I'm gonna turn this off because we don't need to hear it right now. So y'all know it's going out. All right. So I want to have that, since that's going out, and I want to turn on OBS. I mean, the main output over NDI is right there. So it's gonna take video and audio. So you could just send it there and just have an NDI player on the other side that can just listen to that and play it. So if I open up like the studio monitor. I think that's still, there it goes, my link here. So here's my studio monitor. If I go here to my OBS output, and if I turn this up, see, it's muted here, but what you're hearing is it coming from that way. So I'm going to turn it up in OBS. So this is coming from the player that is sending that over my network. So if I mute it, now nothing is coming through. But as you can see from the bars, this is audio being sent over NDI. So I wouldn't spend, that's me personally, I wouldn't spend $650 for a device when you can just have an old laptop that's running OBS, capture the audio, and send it over NDI. That would be easier for me personally. Kelvin. Okay, thanks, AJ. I have an extra laptop I can give them and try to set up that way. A friend has suggested using a Rodecaster. That's what I use as well, too. But, I mean, if you have a laptop, you don't necessarily have to go all over the top. Again, my mindset is like, if any of y'all have been around me long enough, my whole thing is I don't believe in having to buy new stuff if we can, we got other stuff that can be repurposed to do exactly what we need. So you're talking about ISP technologies. All right, let me look back up because I was not familiar with that. ISP technologies. I mean, again, I would really love to have, again, we're talking about more about the For Me conference. The vision of this, the vision of the conference is to, I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute, but it's not going to be negative. My whole dream of the YouTube stuff and everything like that is to build enough influence so that churches that are in rural areas, and Starlink has kind of solved this for a lot of time, but rural churches had an issue with there no internet there, and companies would come in saying, oh, yeah, we'll run internet to you, but it's going to be $50,000. And most churches couldn't do that. I wanted this channel to build up enough influence so that I can go to these companies and be like, hey, I have 50 churches in the area that want internet there, but you're saying that you don't want to do it because you need $50,000. We got enough influence. We got enough income coming in from the channel and everything. Look, I'll pay the $50,000 and run the cable there. Or to have enough influence is like, man, this guy has 1.7 million subscribers with churches, and it's beneficial from a company standpoint to be like, man, we'll tank that $50,000 expense because he's going to drive traffic. Honestly, if you really want to know the behind the scenes when it comes to influencers, the company would rather pay the influencer or give you a product because the influencer has already established trust with an audience. So they're paying for their influence because it's easier for, hey, we'll pay an influencer, whatever amount. I'm just going to fictitiously say something. I've never been paid this, nowhere close to this. Say we'll pay you $5,000, or we'll give you a car like Marquez Brownlee. We'll give you this product that is very, very expensive, but you're going to put, which is say it's $5,000. We'll pay you $5,000 to put you in front of the people that we know are interested in our product, and they're going to trust you, compared to us spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising, hoping we're going to be in front of the right people. So the idea is to have enough influence from this conference and everything to have hundreds of thousands of people attending, ministries from all over the world attending. And now the company is like, look, hey, we have a conference that has 150,000 people that are in media ministry and in churches. So you can come here and pay us $2,000 to set up a booth. And now it's $2,000 to have the potential of having 150,000 customers in front of you. That is a deal for any type of company. $2,000 for access to 150,000 people who are already looking for your product. That's kind of the grand scheme of what I'm looking for. So if this company is available to actually teach, as well as they're not trying to sell anything, meaning that if I brought companies into this conference, it's going to be for the sole purpose of helping spread the message of the church through media ministry. It's not we're here and man, I'm about ready to sell something. No, if your stuff cannot like I can't even show it because I know Monty, you got an email because this company copied everybody's email that they found on YouTube and sent something. They'll send it out saying, hey, would you advertise our product? Most of my time, I respond back. If you can't tell me how this product can be used for media ministry, get lost and never contact me again. The same way I would feel about sponsors or anybody, I mean, not sponsors, but vendors that would come to this conference. If you can't tell me how your product can benefit churches and media ministries, you're not wanted. I know that sounds harsh, but that's kind of the stance that I come from and my mindset with this. So long story short, if ISP Technologies can come in and teach from a standpoint of what's going to be beneficial for ministries from its sound or whatever like that, oh, I'd love to have a session. I think like Shure was going to do that. Teach about audio with using their mics and things like that. Yes, it's catered to their product, but a lot of us use Shure mics and stuff like that. So long answer, but yes, that's what I like to do. Back to O'Neill. Have you used installed Rinkus Heinz speakers? Thoughts on the sound? I think I may have. I think I may have. No, I didn't personally install one of these speakers. I think it was like a church had something like that. But I mean, I personally I don't know enough to recall the sound quality of that. Mom's video, hello from San Fran. Courtney, what would cause an X32 compact to drop connectivity to iPad and PC? IP numbers were cleared and connectivity doesn't come back when re-entered. So you're putting in a static IP or are you putting a DHCP? I would probably, the easier thing, you could do it two ways. Set it up to DHCP, log into your router to say that this device always gets that IP address. So that way something won't accidentally do it. So like my virtual server that I was set up for our for the For Me conference that I was playing around before I went live with it. It was assigned 84, 192.168.0.84. But because that dynamically grabbed it, I left this thing on the entire time when I was in Chicago. When I came back, I shut it down, started it back up, and it assigned a completely different IP address, and I couldn't get stuff working. So what I had to do is go inside my router and said, this server or this device or this piece of equipment or this mixer router, always give it this IP address so it will assign it that way. Or, like you did, set it as a static IP and address inside of the device. But I still go to the router and say, this MAC address, this equipment, don't let anything else get this IP address. That's how I set my stuff up so it doesn't have an issue. So I would check that first. Set it back to DHCP, see whatever it gets, or you can go inside the router, you should see that device on your network, and set that to a permanent license of whatever that IP address is, and you shouldn't have that issue. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people just tighten this thing like I don't know what if I make it tighter to where people can't get in and get the batteries, it makes the connection better. I was like, I don't have no idea why they do that. Mike, so that unified router I tried to set up this week was defective. Sweet. I plugged it in at home to test, and it said the plug in the cable. So frustrating. New one coming. Yeah, without all the unified stuff I've had to return it stuff from them maybe 4 times in about like 6 years. So I think we're going good in a rating. But I'm glad you were able to get that. So everybody likes that one. I mean, you ever had that? Like somebody just tightened something so tight that I'm like, what are you trying to do? You trying to stop Satan and his minions from getting in or something? Like, why do you have it so daggone tight for? Mom's video. My pastor wants to stream in 4K. We are using the extreme ISO to get started. Do we need a Blackmagic micro SD to HDMI? No, you don't need that at all. I'm doing the same thing. I have an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. My stuff is being sent to a Web Presenter 4K. The Web Presenter 4K is upscaling my stuff so that you see it in 4K. That's the only thing that you need. And that's what we've been using for the last 2 years. So you don't need, the converter isn't going to do anything. It's not going to convert it up. That's just going to convert it from one connection from SDI to HDMI. So the 12 gig, that just means that it can accept in 4K and change it to 4K, but it's not going to do any type of upscaling. You just need a Web Presenter 4K. That's all you need. And y'all can look at this video and any of my videos, live streams, as an example of that. Juanita Jones, good morning. We use the Phoenix Pro mics currently. Would you suggest in other mics we have? No, those are the exact same ones I installed at Antioch and a bunch of ones. Been very, very, very happy with them. Are you having any issues with them? I mean, if you want to go for Gusto, you could always go for the Shure. But like I said, most people, and I mean this respectfully, most people that say that they want a Shure mic, very few of them are saying they're going for it because of the quality. They're going from it because people have recommended them, but they have no knowledge on why it's so good. They're just saying, oh, I'm going with it because everybody uses them. That's it. So when I've installed Phoenix Pros, for the people who don't know anything, they're just like, they're in love with it because it sounds great. If you put a Shure mic beside any of these other ones, the average person would not know the difference. If you're an audio engineer and stuff like that, you can pick it out. Like me, I've edited so many times, I can tell the difference when how much bit rate has been put into your stream. I can see the difference because I can see it's pixelated when I'm editing. The average person is not stopping the stream and zooming in to make changes from a video editing standpoint where they can see the difference in quality. That's the same way when it comes with your sound. If you're happy with it and you're not having any issues, I wouldn't even recommend going to anything else. That's just me personally, because I'm looking at what's the best bang for your buck, what's going to give you the high quality. Yes, you can spend $1,500 for 2 mics if you want to, or you can get the Phoenix Pro 8 unit and it's $500, and now you got 8 mics that sound great with individual channels compared to the $1,500 just for 2. It's just a preference. Back to Samuel. Oh, hold on. Back to Samuel. Can I receive the output on mobile devices through NDI? We have some congregation who doesn't. It all depends. You need to have a NDI player on your phone, and it would. If it's on a network, it would pick it up that way. And then also understand English and the translator. We want them to listen to the third translator through their mobile. Yes, that would work because that's. See, we must be on time. So yes, you can. Also, the other thing that we're talking about as well for the conference, I'm not trying to degrade, in lessen answering your question. The other thing that we're working on in the conference is to provide, depending on how many people we got, provide live translation for that stuff in different languages. I know Rosalind was talking about translating some stuff in Spanish and some other languages. But the idea of doing a talk and a session topic on how to send what you just talked about, how to send that audio to somebody else at the conference. They hear it that way. Mike has talked about it before. If you use an OBS, we could do this with your mixer to have a sub mix. Send a separate sub mix of the person doing translation. So say it's AJ the CEO Espanol. We're live streaming. You can go to AJ the CEO on YouTube and watch this one in English, but go to the other Spanish channel, and it's the same video, but somebody is live translating it, and they're getting that audio instead of the other ones. That's other stuff that we're talking about at the conference. Also talking about doing sign language and showing how to do that in the picture-in-picture and all this other stuff. Again, this is what the conference is to show and teach all this stuff that a lot of us are not doing, but have thought about wanting to do. So thank you for reminding me about that. Hey, you are welcome, and thank you. Reverend Leroy, Where did you get your transcribe, join, notify button that you flash at the bottom? That is from Envato. And I'm actually going to do a video that shows, I'm going to redo all of my graphics and talk about all of that. But yes, that was an Envato that I got. Okay, thank you for that. True story. Good morning, Jay. I have a quick question. What is a decent startup wireless camera for streaming a church service? Wireless camera, I would say the one that I'm using right here. I know some people had some issues with it. I haven't had any issues. This is the AVCans Go. But again, I need some more details with it. How far away is the camera going to be? If it's a wireless one, you're going to start paying a pretty penny for if you want it to go completely wireless. This one around for $350. That is going to give you. It's not going to be a great zoom, so you see how far away I'm 2 feet away from this. This wouldn't be something you put all the way in the back. This would be something if you wanted to put this in the middle aisle or in the front row or something like that. This would be a great one, and it can stream wirelessly to whatever you're doing. That's what I would recommend. But again, I need to know what your budget is to kind of really answer. What's the high end of where you would want to go with that? Reverend Leroy, again, what would be great also, a Christian construction company that would go in and lay the lines, bury lines, free into churches, ministry. Well, again, that is a part of the stuff that I've always wanted to do. And again, I'm just casting the vision, telling y'all this stuff. The other, and Mike knows about this. I haven't done any videos on it in a long, long time, but it was really wanted to be sponsored and have a television show on HGTV or TLC or something like that. And it was called Bless This House, where we have a humongous YouTube audience that we go to other churches and say a church was burnt down or this church lost this or whatever. We can come in because of the sponsorships, because of the help, and I put a clarion call out there saying like, hey, we need this. And we have volunteers come in and we rebuild a church. We renovate a church. We buy an old church, completely get sponsored and put all the greatest equipment in there and lend it out to a church. And at the end of the week or the month that they've been using it, and they hand us the keys back and be like, nah, it's already been paid off. It's y'all's church. And be able to bless them. That's the idea. And to be kind of doing the same thing, to be able to come in and do this stuff. And it's like, hey, you need internet. I mean, Unify has the WISP stuff that I've been wanting to do for a long time. You can set up your own ISP and all this other stuff and serve it out. There's people in the UK who've done that. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I would like to do. But again, it's kind of hard. Real talk. It's kind of hard to do a lot of that stuff and just trying to figure out the financing on how to do this. Like I have a very big vision, but it's kind of hard when it's just me and to set up when you're maybe this is the business part I know I need to learn as well too. It's kind of hard I haven't figured out what I need to do so that I can get the funding to do this so it's consistently being able to pay employees, to consistently be able to handle all the logistics and stuff like that so that it can be an actual company to expand and do all this other stuff. Because I wanted the company to always be private because you don't want to start getting investors and then now they want to steer it in a completely different direction. But again, that's the vision. Don't know how it's going to be accomplished, but what they say, have a vision that's so big, that's bigger than you, then God has to get involved. So I'm just trying to be as faithful as possible with what I got and do what I can. Because, I mean, he gave the vision on this. I have no idea how it's going to be accomplished. Like, honestly, I have no idea how this conference is going to work out. Real talk. Just casting the vision. Hopefully, we can do something because I think it's needed. But that was a mild soapbox there. Back to TJ. I agree with what you're saying. I was just wondering if you have heard of them and heard of their quality. No, I have not, but we'll be looking into that. That's what I need. We have an issue with the pastor's lapel. It just cut down. It does cut down on the feedback. Like, is it cutting out or is it just a volume thing? Give me a little bit more details on that. Mr. Skilla, Vice Grip of God keeps Satan in his sound feedback meetings. This is videogram point biz. But upscaling from HD to 4K will not improve quality. You can't create pixels that don't exist. They only will be replicated, right? Therefore, only the bandwidth will be greater. Well, it does some type of interpolation, just like the same way. Like most of my videos, I record in 1080p, but I upscale them to 4K because it's interpolating and it's guessing what that pixel is going to be to upscale it. So, but again, most people haven't noticed. Like, again, like when I do my videos, when I'm doing from my phone or my other cameras, my cameras are actually 4K. The other ones that are here, because everything is going through my ATEM, it's scaling it down to 1080p. But when I natively would record directly from the camera, everything is 4K. But yeah, I mean, it's one thing. I personally still don't believe in natively streaming at 4K because we're still struggling with churches just to get enough upload speed to live stream 720p. So to do 4K, now your cameras need to be 4K. Like I can't do all of my stuff here locally 4K because my ATEM is not 4K. This camera is 4K. All of my PTZ, well, the PTZ over here and the one behind me, those are 4K. Nothing else is. And then I would have to change all my cables. I'd have to change the video switcher. I need to change my upload speed is fast enough, but I don't think it's really worth going to 4K right now because that's just me personally, because of all the stuff that you would need to be in place just to be able to produce it and send it out. And then what platform are you going to? That's great. But now for the viewers, are the viewers able to see it in 4K? Do they have the download to support it? Do they have a screen that's being able to see? That's why I personally don't think it's there yet. Maybe by next year, because you can't buy a 1080p TV now. Everything is 4K. So that's just my personal opinion. Thank you. Back to true story. It would be in the front row. I'm guessing a budget of 300. That's at a high end. I would look at something like that camera if you're trying to do something like that, especially if you're focused on it being wireless. If it's not about wireless and you can have everything set up right beside that, I don't want to recommend the Mevo, but I think the more recent one is not tethered to their software. That's the reason I had an issue with that one. Because even the Logitech Mevo is going for $340. The wireless is what's really getting you. You're gonna have to spend at least a little bit more, and it looks like the Mevo is still kind of locked. Unless I'm wrong, it looks like the Mevo is still locked to their software. So again, this camera can be linked to whatever, or it can do it by itself. So if that's your budget, see if somebody else can donate another $60, and then you can get that one. That would be my recommendation if that's what you're really looking to have. Richard, I have an audio coming from a pass-through of a floor monitor going into the Focusrite box, then feeding to the ATEM. If I wanted to record the audio in OBS, should I set the capture source to the ATEM or the floor ATEM, Focusrite box, then feeding to the ATEM? You would record from the ATEM. Yeah, the grant name. No, I didn't get the grant name, but it was only for Illinois. And I got a document here. Hold on. So this was it was a threat assessment document that has to go through here, and all of this has to be filled out, and this is what I have to do partially. So just give you an idea of some of this stuff. So the idea is you have to go through this, present a paper on what of your what is your threat assessment. They had a police officer from Elgin was there. I was there. And then just talked about some of the stuff. But let me just give you an idea that some of these grants are looking to see if your church has some stuff. This is kind of eye-opening because I know a bunch of churches don't have none of this. So these are some of the questions that you have to say. Is it Very low, low, medium, high, or very high, as in a threat level of where do you feel that you could possibly be missing of level of importance. That's what I was trying to say. Does the house of worship have a security manager or a security committee to make security management decisions? Does the house of worship have a written security and safety emergency operations plan? Are employees and volunteers trained on security, safety, emergency protocols? Are congregants trained on elements and security of safety and emergency operations? Does the facility exercise the security and safety operations? So do you have it, and do you actually put it into place? This is only page 14 of 60. Does the facility have lockdown, lockout, and shelter in place procedures? Does the house of worship have crisis communication plans and procedures? Does the house of worship receive threat information, security bulletins, advisories, and alerts from external sources? Like it goes through, does it have silent alarms? Does it have secondary offsite management if somebody's there? Does it have barricades? Does it has lockable ways of locking people in zones and isolate? I mean, it is so detailed. And the idea, the way the grant worked is you have to present this stuff. And I think the grant went up to $200,000. Once you show that these are the reasons why you need it, and then not just what you're missing, but why you need it for. So the church has Boy Scout, Girl Scouts. It's like the Elgin Center and Heart for homeless shelters, for soup kitchens, stuff that is a staple in the community, and it's so many people coming and going on a regular basis that it needs to be secure because of so much attention that's being brought there. So it's like, these are the issues of the vulnerabilities that we have. This is the reason why we need it, because we're such an impact in the community, not just from a church standpoint, but a community at large. Once they approve that, they'll give you an amount that you're approved for. Once they're approved for that, then that's the reason why we haven't done any work there. Once they approve that, then they can go buy whatever they need. Like one church got approved for bulletproof glass and all this other stuff. Once you get approved for it, they go buy it, and then the grant refunds what they bought. So they can't buy something now, go through the grant, and get paid. No, they have to get approved for the grant. Once it's approved, they get them the amount. Then they can buy whatever, and then it can be reimbursed. Reverend Leroy, are you saying start? Are you saying start have to be an internet buyer? Are you saying start? I'm sorry, I'm missing what you're saying. Maybe, yeah, rephrase that, because I'm missing what you're asking. And the player does like cut down or like pause, and it may be because he is walking and talking. Sometimes it sounds good. That sounds like it's it might be dropping frequency. Where is the receiver located? You can possibly talk about putting it closer. Like one church I was down in Hampton, never did a video on it. I was in Hampton last week helping out a church. They were having that same issue. So because they have a snake, all we did was just have them move the receiver that was all the way in the back of the church, put it in the front with their stage box. And now instead of it being 30 feet away from whoever's talking, using the mics, the praise team, the pastor, now it's 6 feet away. That's what I would say, but how far away is that? Sash Multimedia Productions, hey, good morning to you. And True Story, you are welcome. What was the name of the camera you showed a few minutes ago? That is the AVCans Go, and I did a video on that. I have an ATEM Mini Pro. Last night, I tried connecting my PTZ camera to the switcher by HDMI from the ATEM to HDMI on the PTZ, and it didn't show up in OBS, only channel 4, and the feed was just jumping off. What type of PTZ? Is it 4K? What's the signal that is being sent? If it's 4K, you need to set the PTZ image to 1080p, and also what type of HDMI cable. If you're using a fiber optic, they are one direction. Make sure that you have the source. If you're using that, make sure the source end is on the camera, and then display is connected to the ATEM. But let me know. Where Mark was saying that Mevo can do NDI with a subscription. But thank you for that. I just don't. I would have thought it would be included with that. Richard, what is the best method for choosing bitrate in OBS? We have great speed internet, but don't understand how to choose the bitrate. Use the wizard that's built in, and it will do it for you. If you really, really wanted to do it by hand, the thing you would do is, and again, I know I'm a bad example because of my internet speed. I would go to speedtest.net, test this multiple times, and we're going to test the speed. And I have no idea why it hasn't picked the server yet. Oh, I know why, because I have my UDM Pro set to block advertisements. That's why you don't see the ads on here. All right, it's got a connection now. Why in the world? There it goes. So that's download speed. And all right, there's an upload speed. So let that finish. Come on. Upload speed. So, and that's megabits per second. We're going to add 1,000, add some zeros on the end of this. So inside of OBS, you need to test that. The easiest way, like I said, is go to tools, use the auto configuration wizard. That will calculate everything for you. But if you were doing it manually, if I go here to settings and I go to output, see, I have mine at 7,500. So that means in megabits, that really means 7.5 megabits. And if I look at the speed, my speed is saying I'm capable of 929 megabits per second. So if I set my stream to, and I wish they would let me do it in megabits, but that would mean that I'm using 7.5 megabits of 929 available. So I can go, my internet is not the bottle cap here, but that wizard would also test the hardware, your CPU, your GPU of your computer. Because, yeah, I could set this, honestly, I could set this to 30,000. I can set it to like this. And then if I look here, I'm still nowhere close. That means I'm only using 30 megabits of my 930 that's available. I'm not reaching a limit at all for upload speed, but can my computer handle this? That's what the this is, and it depends on your platform. YouTube actually can't accept anything higher than I think 15,000 or something like that. That was in that when we looked over that streaming key, it actually showed the bit rate of what it could do. So let me see if I can go back to that real quick and show you. Oh, hold on. I got to turn this off for half a second. It's something I can't show. So where's it at? Go to stream. All right, we can come back over here. So if I come back over here, and actually I could have did it right there. So if I come here and I want to create a new key, and like I said, if we come down here, see, this is actually, I'm sorry, 4K can go up to 30 bits per second. So that's what YouTube is expecting. So if you're going to 1080p, there's no reason to go higher than 6,000 because that's the kilobits per second that it accepts. Once you go to 1440p, you can go up to 13 or like, and I should have just looked over at my stuff. Right now, I'm streaming. Mine is going at 47 megabits per second. That's what I'm sending to YouTube. So I'm over what I need to send. So that's where you have to play around with. Can your upload speed handle it? The bits per second that you're sending in your data in OBS, but then also can your computer handle processing that much? So I mean, I could put mine at 100,000, and yeah, it could probably stream like that for maybe 5 minutes before it starts getting out of whack. So you said the PTZ that you're using for Maka, but what is it? Is it 1080p or 4K? Let's make sure we have lavalier mics for the at the conference. I mean, it's possible. Again, look, Elder Rob. There, I was talking to the West. It is so much logistical stuff. The idea is people register. If you register in person, we're gonna have a badge. Then it'll have a QR code on the back of it so it can be scanned. And then I'm going back to my old days of programming to where it's gonna make a unique QR code for that person. They'll do the same thing for the people who buy tickets online. So it's gonna be an individual one. Once somebody's registered, you can't register and hand that code off to somebody else. Only one person can be logged in at a time. A whole lot of stuff. And you said it is 1080p. Okay, and that's strange. That should be straightforward. I would check your cable because I've used those many times before. Unless the jack is damaged, have you tried connected it to any of the other inputs, and do you get the same thing? The receiver and the snake is all on the stage with the pastor as well as the antennas. That is very strange. Then something else must be causing some interference. Now, I had the same thing at Antioch. One of the mics was going down because one of the antennas got loose. So it was jiggling loose, and that was causing one of the connection issues. That's why I like having everything connected, just going back through there and verifying that. Then also sometimes, because I had some people come in there with new equipment and they don't tell anybody anything, I've had to go in and change the frequency so that the mics and the receiver are something completely different because somebody brought something in. Sometimes the security people brought in something and the signal kind of interfered. I would just check those things as well too. You are welcome. I think we've got through most of the stuff we've got here. What time is it? It's still 11:43. Again, I have some new people who have done this, so I haven't had a chance to do this. So let me just take a quick break and thank all of the supporters that help do this. If you like what we do, folks, you can always go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, and you can start it for as low as $1 a month, or you can click the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministers all over the world. And again, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. What I do as a way of giving a discount and as ways of thanking them, give them discounts on some of the stuff that we have. Thinking about doing that as a discount as well to Patreon and YouTube members if they want to be a part of the conference. Playing around with that. Again, need to balance the budget to see how everything is done. Also, enter them in our giveaways. I enter them in manually twice, so they have 2 times the chances of winning, and all this other fun stuff. So really excited about that. And just to let you know, I don't want to go back on what I'm saying. I'm not. Well, folks, I want to give a big thank you because we hit 66,000 subscribers while I was on the 19th. So we're closer and closer to the 100,000, and we're closer to our 70,000, where we're giving away one $2,000 bundle or 2 $1,000 bundles. Both of those bundles were shown in detail on my channel of live streaming bundles. We've given them away, and we're doing this all the way up to 250,000 subscribers. Link is down below if you want to enter, or you can go to the link right here. Either way, and like I said, these giveaways like this, supporters, Patreon supporters, YouTube members, I add them in this giveaway twice, so they have 2 times the chance of winning. If you've already entered, you don't have to enter again. My stuff scrubs everybody who's listed multiple times outside of supporters and stuff like that. But again, really, really cool to be able to do stuff like that. I think that's mainly about it. I had my email closed so it wouldn't be go off. But like I said, really excited about this conference, folks. And again, I am being real transparent and honest with you. I cannot do this myself. Again, this isn't a AJ conference. That's why it's called the For Me conference. It is for us. If you didn't know what For Me stands for, is Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. So four M's, and an E. So that's where For Me came from. But again, really excited about that. Again, if you never thought about teaching, I think this would be really awesome. And for the teachers, we the cutoff for all your information, because we're also going to include downloads of all your presentations, all this other stuff on a thumb drive for the people that are there, and make it accessible for people to download after the fact. That cutoff is going to be February, March, April, May. It's going to be April 30th or May 1st. So everything needs to be in stone. That way we can copy everything, put everything there. We really are trying to get ahead of it so that we have a whole lot more prep time. We're going to have plenty of practice times for all our teachers that are going to be remotely and all this other stuff. But really excited about that. And more important, I know a lot of us are really just excited that a lot of us have associated nothing but here in the comments or on Facebook. This is an opportunity to network and actually meet the people that you're contacting with all the time here, and really excited about that. Really looking forward to doing this live and having some people on stage with me helping answer questions, and just really empowering ministers, preachers, and churches to know that there's so much more than you can do than just put a camera in the back of your church and live stream. There's so many more things that you can do. I'm going to answer a few more questions, and we're going to get up out of here. MA16V3. I just thought it was a play on the dream of having a 4ME switcher. Nah, it wasn't. Reggie, 60, great. Thank you. Anthony. Hey, AJ. How do I set up a mix minus for Zoom through the ATEM Mini Extreme if the ATEM is being used as a webcam input? I don't think it would natively do a mix minus. The only way to do a mix minus is to actually take that out of the mix that is going to Zoom. So yeah, there's no way to do that. Well, what board are you doing as well too? I mean, you could do it that way, and you would have to send the audio separately. Say you do a mix minus on the board and then send that into the ATEM, then it can go that way. But there is no mix minus support natively for the ATEM. I think that is about it, folks. Like I said, if you have any more questions, you can email me at questions@ajholmes.com. I can't remember I don't believe we have a roundtable this Sunday. My days are off. I can't remember if we did it last week or not. But that's about it. Again, really, I'm asking because the teachers are what made the conference. And again, we need volunteers as well too, for tech people, media people, camera folks, all this other stuff. I want this to be not just the AJ show. I want this to be show what we can do for all of us to come together, and help us all with the same mission. I want the vision of this is when you come, whatever level that you come into this conference, you are elevated to a higher level. Whether it's just you as a pastor, you have a plan on how to recruit people, how to set up a media ministry. If you have a media ministry, how to effectively train them. If you got leaders and people in your church who are negative about the whole media ministry, to empower you on a different way to approach them, to show that this is evangelism. It is a tool. The church wasn't shooting down Paul when he was going to other people. Paul was the first E-Missionary. He was going out sending letters to people. That's what we're doing. We're just taking the technology to that next level as well. Let's fire off these last couple of ones here. Rob, hopefully I can have my book done by the conference. Sweet, I believe you can. Mix minus is done through a sound mixer. You either have to have a dedicated function or you can jerry-rig. Exactly. Thank you for that. Didn't have one. Okay, so if we didn't have one, then we do have a roundtable this Sunday. All the information is on the Facebook group. Thank you for that. Y'all funny. All right, folks. I think that's about it. Thank you so much. And I just realized I didn't eat anything. I just been running. I'm gonna go get me something to eat, and then take a nap, and then start writing up the stuff. And we got all these videos and stuff like that we got to go through and do, as well as writing up this document for Pastor LeBoy out in Elgin. Working on the website, all this other stuff like that. Be on the lookout, folks. Like I said, once this goes live, please jump on it as fast as possible for it to take advantage of the early bird stuff. I'll be calling the hotels and all this other stuff. I can't really call them and block anything if I have no idea how many people are going to be there. Don't want to block off 50 rooms and then 2 people show up. You know, that's a waste for their business. We want to be good stewards of what we got, but then also be a blessing to other people as well too. And it's going to help with the food. I mean, I'm telling you, if I can get the person who did my open house, oh, the lady can cook, and we got some other stuff here, so we can have some good food for y'all. And we need to know y'all dietary stuff and all this other stuff. I think I blabbed enough. Hey, folks, just know that you're appreciated. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And even when stuff gets difficult, folks, keep pushing. I'm not just saying that to be cliched, because if y'all only knew everything was going on, it's very easy for me to just, tuck my tail and leave. But, walking a journey of faith and believing, when you're told to leave everything and do nothing but this, all I got is depend on God in situations. And that's gets kind of testing, because we're humans. And I know I'm saying that in comparison that you've been working hard in media ministry and like, man, I've been giving all my time. I've been doing everything I know. And God, you see, I'm the only person here. When's God's going to send help? When's going to be I understand. Know that this community is not just about trying to empower you with tech and all this other stuff. It's a community that you can lean on when you're going through stuff, because we're either getting ready to go through a storm, we're in one, or we just came out of it. Because we have a shared mission of what we're doing, there's somebody here that can encourage you. That's the reason why we want to have more stuff involved. That's why I encourage the Facebook group, all this other stuff, to network with each other, because there's probably another person going through the exact same thing that's down the street from you, that because of however we've been doing stuff, we've never communicated with each other. And this is meant to empower us for a mission, a cause, and help us move forward, and just keep holding on. I'm telling y'all that because I'm telling myself the same way. So just know that you're appreciated. Even if no one's ever telling you, I'm telling you, thank you for what you're doing. If you were not here, something would be missing. There's something that you are assigned to do that only you can do. And if you don't do it, we'd all miss out on it. So don't ever underestimate the importance of what you're doing, because the people who are watching you might not be local. They might be on the other end of that computer screen, all the way on the other side of the planet. And what you're doing is helping reach them. So just keep what you're doing. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever y'all are, folks. And we'll be catching y'all on the next video, folks. Later.